extended by the chairman for good cause. One person speaks at a time. Please come to the front of the room if you wish to speak. State your name and address so the information may be entered into the minutes. Please remember to be courteous during the meeting. In accordance with Pennsylvania law, the board will take comment on any item on the agenda before action is taken. Roll call. Terry Sachs. Here. Marla Hexter. Here. Charles Lideke. Here. Carol Schuler. Here. And Bella present. And Terry Frederick. Here. All right, so the first order of business for an organization meeting under the Pennsylvania law is the nomination of a chairman. So is there a motion for chairperson?
I move that we, I will move that we have Terry Sachs serve as chair.
I'll second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second. Any other discussion by the board? Hearing none. Any public comment? Seeing none. Vote is to be taken. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? No. We have a new chairman for 2019. And I turn the meeting over to you.
The next thing is nomination for vice chairman of the board of supervisors.
I move that we have Marla Hexter as vice chair.
I'll second that.
Is there any questions? Any public comment? None? Call for vote.
Aye.
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 Mr. Chairman, there are several appointments to be considered, and the board can take them as a whole if you like. They're presented there on page 2 of the agenda. The township secretary is an open item, so I would think at this time we'd exclude that. And then under number 10, alternate building official, that's an open item, so that's to be addressed sometime in the future. But otherwise, if there's a motion, you can address 1 through 18 with those 2 exceptions I just stated as one motion.
I would like to consider someone else for item 15, which is the vacancy board. The gentleman named under there does not come to the meetings and is not up to date on what happened in the township.
So to consider
I
someone
don't
else.
have an alternate. I'd like to table that.
Is there a second to have that table? Do not hear a second. Is there a motion then to proceed with the appointments as articulated? That would be 1 through 18 with the exception of 4 and 10.
So moved.
Is there a
I'll second.
Is there a discussion by the board? Seeing none. Any public comment? Seeing none. Let's wait for a vote, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Nay.
All right, the next item is the boards and commissions. We'll take them one at a time. The planning commission, they're 4-year terms, and there
I'm
are
sorry, did we vote on whether or not to vote on one of the 2, or did we actually vote on it?
voted. The motion was to approve the appointments as set forth at 1 through 18 with the 2 exceptions.
Vote on whether to vote on them as a group or to vote on them individually.
The motion, at least as I heard it articulated, was to vote on 1 through 18
Well, then,
with the 2 exceptions.
well, then I would like to change my vote to, I just have the one objection, which was to 15. And I'd like to change my vote to yea, and just on the record, note that Mr. Chesney, while he's a former supervisor, he has not been in meetings for many years, and I do not believe he is up to date on what's happening in the township and is capable of filling this role. But I do vote yea on the other points.
Understood. Thank you. So with the boards and commissions, the planning commission, they're 4-year terms, and there's 2 positions that expired at the end of 2018. Are there any motions to make appointments?
A motion to appoint Terry Bird to the Township Planning Commission for a term expiring the end of 2022.
I'll second that.
Any questions?
Public comment? None? It's ready for a vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any other appointments as regards planning commission? Any motions? None at this time. Okay, and adjunct to that, I understand from the planning commission meeting that there's a comprehensive plan steering committee, and I would suggest to this board, as I did at the planning commission meeting, that this board should make appointments to that steering committee. I think that's probably something for a later meeting, but I just want to bring that up and note that you want to identify who, and you want to start thinking about what kind of goals, what kind of direction do you want to give that steering committee. So that's something for the future. Next item is the Central Perkiomen Valley Regional Planning Commission, and one supervisor and one planning commission member need to be appointed for 2019.
I'll make a motion to appoint Marla Hexter and Charles Yeiser to the Central Perkiomen Valley Regional Planning Commission for 2019.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? None. Public comment? None. Ready for a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Zoning Hearing Board, these are 3-year terms. One position expired at the end of 2018, and it's Brian Hill's position. Any motions?
A motion to reappoint Brian Hill to the Zoning Hearing Board.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
Vote.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Parks and Recreation Board, 5-year terms, 3 open positions. Are there any motions for appointment?
A motion to appoint Pam Wright to the Park and Recreation Board for a term that ends 2023.
I'll second.
Any comment? Public comment? Yes.
Actually, the Irish,
Sorry,
can
can you come forward?
Oh, really? I can't.
What we need is we don't have the secretary, so the court reporter is taking everything down. That's why she
Donna
wants names.
Irick, I-R-I-C-K, and I'm a Spring Mountain. I'm presently the chair of the Parks Board. We would also like to ask the Board of Supervisors to dismiss Dave Heckman from the Park Board. I reached out to him several times through email, phone calls. Dave has not been to one of our meetings in over a year, so that would also put another seat on the Park Board that's available.
Yeah, I'd have to look at your specific ordinance, because that's not covered under Second Class Township Code, so I'd have to look at the ordinance as to how and is there a requirement. There usually is that you attend or not miss more than 3 meetings in a row, something along those lines.
Okay.
And then I just want to read it as regards to how one goes about doing what you've asked for.
Okay,
So if we can table that for the moment.
that's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We take a vote?
Did not. Well, no, you did. No, Pamela, right?
Yes.
No
But no,
vote.
he voted to one panel, right?
No.
Okay.
Any comment? Public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. I think we move on to your general matters now, under 2A.
I'm sorry, can I just get a clarification from Donna? So would I be correct in stating that if Dave Heckman does come off of the park board, we would then have 3 total vacancies?
Correct.
All right, we're on public comment. Do you have any public comment? None? All right, we'll move on. General reorganization matters.
So these are 3 resolutions that are written for the board. The first concerns Victory Bank, to name that as the depository for the township funds. The written resolution would be Resolution 2019-01. Ready for a motion if someone wants to make
I'll
one?
make a motion to approve Victory Bank being the depository.
I'll second.
Any comment? Public comment? All in favor? Aye.
Second is a fee schedule. The township needs to adopt a fee schedule each year. This is the same fee schedule that you've had in the past. However, at section 3E on page 3, there's a miscellaneous plumbing fee that you might want to add a number for a dollar value. That's a permit for any plumbing work which requires a permit that's not set forth above. If there's any input from the board, we can attach a dollar value to it. Otherwise, we just move forward to.
Just a point of clarity, a question for our interim manager, Terry. Where is this in the binder? Is this in the binder?
Yeah, it's in your binder, the fee schedule.
Well, with the addition, I'm just going to see.
What section? Section 2.
It starts at the second page.
Can you repeat again what our options are?
Sure. So this fee schedule is a multi-page document. It's the same fee schedule that you had last year. The changes to possibly make. First one is at 3E, and there is no dollar value next to permit for any plumbing work which requires a permit. It's not listed elsewhere. So all fees have to be reasonable for the work that's required. And it looks like you have a $75 fee for a couple of the other items. So we would like to insert a $75 fee there, just to complete it. So we make that addition. And then the second thing to point out is on the last page, page 9, there's a new fee under police department fees for fingerprinting, a $15 fee that the police department believe has to be added. So those are the only changes from the prior year. So otherwise, this written resolution is ready for action.
So I'll move to adopt the fee schedule for 2019.
Second.
Any questions? Any public comment? All in favor? Aye.
All right, the last written resolution would set the rate of compensation for each of the members of the Township Zoning Hearing Board. I have two written resolutions. One is for $50 per hearing, the other is $50 per night. The idea being you might have 2 hearings in one night. So it's up to you as to which resolution you would like to adopt.
I'll make a motion to approve the rate of compensation for each of the members of the Township Zoning Hearing Board for $50 per night.
I'll second.
Any questions? Public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Next item concerns meeting dates and times. The township has traditionally had meetings on the first Tuesday and the last Tuesday of each month. In some of the other townships, they split that up in the sense of having it divided or separated every 2 weeks or so. So the suggestion came up, do you want to do it every first Tuesday and every third Tuesday of a month, with certain exceptions as always crop up. So I guess first item, is there consensus to continue with meetings on the first Tuesday of each month?
Yes, we need a motion.
Why don't we separate it out?
Yes, make a motion that our regular session meetings take place on the first Tuesday of every month.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion by the board?
Comment? Public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, the second aspect is, do you want a second meeting each month? And if so, do you want it on the third Tuesday or the last Tuesday of each month?
Can I planning commission here is it is sometimes beneficial to have our meeting after planning commission. Do you have any comments about that?
Ernie Schmidt, Lower Frederick Township. I don't see any controversy with that. It doesn't really bother me personally. I don't know how the other members feel, but generally the work session for the supervisors is a work session for you to get, to get things in line for your regular monthly meeting. So it does not impact me personally.
Who else is here from the planning commission?
Charlie?
Sorry, with Ernie. It's up to you guys.
You need to come forward and.
Just so we capture.
Terry Bird, 40 Mill Road. Same as Ernie.
What road is that?
Little. It's up to you. It's your work session, so I don't think it would impact what's discussed with the planning commission.
Linda Jansen, Simmons Road. I sort of agree with them, but it may be nice to, as you say, if you have it on the third Tuesday, then we have our planning commission meeting. So if anything is brought up at the work session, we can discuss it at the planning commission, and then you have your general meeting following it. So it would be nice to have maybe your work session prior to the planning. So that would work. I agree with both.
So it's up to the board as to, in some feedback, you could, for the moment, simply pick 1 or 2 dates going forward. We'll advertise then, and we can pick this up again with further discussion, or you can make a decision for the remainder of the year tonight.
I make a motion that we keep it on the last Tuesday of the month, except for the 5 weeks, we can make it the 4th.
Except for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
That Christmas change here too. So,
Yeah, we usually don't hold a work session Christmas week because people are away and it's just not a good time. So the last 2 years, we moved it to the prior week, which is the third Tuesday.
So I think you're saying the 4th Tuesday of each month.
it would be the last Tuesday of each month, except for when we have 5 weeks in a month. Then it would be the 4th.
Okay. With the exception for Thanksgiving or Christmas, if they fall on that Tuesday.
Yes.
It's nice that gives it, this year we had it.
So there's a motion.
I'll second.
Any questions? Here? Comment from the public? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, did you say that?
No, I said Nick. I voted against it. Yeah, I think
You
it's.
said that.
Yeah, I know, I've been told that. I think that in a lot of townships, it's difficult to have meetings only a week apart, and it has been very challenging this last year to have so much time between the 2 meetings, so I was in favor of having 2 weeks and 2 weeks.
Understood. All right, next item is the bond amount. And the idea is to make sure that there's a sufficient bond to protect the township for the greatest amount available to persons who are going to be bonded. So these are the treasurer and the assistant treasurer at $500,000 each, and the township manager at $300,000.
And can you confirm, is this one motion or would this be a couple different motions?
This could be one motion.
I'll make a motion to approve fixing the amount for the bonds for the township officers as follows: the treasurer and for the assistant treasurer at $500,000, and the township manager at $300,000.
I'll second.
Any questions? Comment from the public? Yes.
Yeah. Brian Bell, 11 Zieglerville Road. My question would be, since Terry is concerned with a contract individual right now, does he fall under that bond, or is he providing that bond in lieu of his contract?
The manager has to be bonded. The township traditionally pays for that bond, and so the township will make sure that the entity and the manager, the person are fine. For action.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Last item here is a motion is needed to approve the 2019 mileage reimbursement rate at the rate set by the IRS, which I believe is 58 cents per mile for 2019.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any questions? Comment from the public? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 3, the approval of minutes, October 30th. You want to do one at a time, or do you want to do?
I don't know, I do not believe we've seen minutes yet for November 27th.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to do it one at a time.
And I also don't think we've seen a decent draft for October 30th.
No.
Let's do it this way. Do you have any minutes for either of those 4 dates that you believe the board of supervisors can move forward on? If so, somebody should make that motion for that specific date.
So you're asking if there are any minutes that we would be comfortable approving? Is that what you're suggesting?
Correct.
I've read the 27th. You seen the 27th? I've seen the 27th. Because you haven't, I'm not going to suggest.
Sorry, Terry, did you send us drafts for November 27th?
I thought I did.
I thought those were November 26th.
It was 26th for certain, November the 7th for certain,
7th, yes.
and the 27th, there were an edited, I believe a couple of board members inputted into changes that they wanted to see on the 27th. I thought I had distributed that part, but I perhaps didn't.
So again, back to the question at hand, Andy, if I'm correct, if we feel comfortable approving minutes, I do feel comfortable approving the November 26th budget minutes as proposed and amended. And I would be in favor of that motion, the 26th of November.
Minutes of the 26th as amended.
I'll second.
Any questions? Any comment from the public? Warren?
Yeah, I have a question.
Your name, please?
Warren Jacobs, Full Road. When we get behind on having approved minutes like that, public's kind of in the dark. If we go on the website, if you try to find out by looking at the minutes, we don't know what went on at any meetings until in September. I don't think that's a good thing. I think we need to find a better way to get our minutes accurate and approved. One of the other things, when the residents don't get to see the minutes until they're approved, is there a legality behind that?
There are, if I can